Japanese automakers Honda and Nissan have announced plans to join forces.
Honda and Nissan announced on Monday that they have formally agreed to hold talks on a possible merger.
Today, the world is moving rapidly towards EV, and this is believed to be the future. But on the other hand, Honda is doing something big behind the scenes, which even China and Elon Musk are not aware of. Honda has created an engine that will shake the entire car market. While everyone is running after electric cars, Honda is making a big change, creating a beast that can perhaps change the game forever. Their CEO says that this is a complete revolution, which will shake the entire EV world. What if Honda creates an engine that does not need petrol, does not need to be charged, and is even better than electric cars? It sounds great, right? Be patient. This could be the amazing twist that will completely change the future of cars. As we move forward, subscribe to the channel so that you are the first to get information about technology. Before we dive into how Honda flipped the electric vehicle, EV, world upside down, let's rewind a bit and meet the guy who started it all. Soichiro Honda. Forget fancy suits or corner offices. Soichiro was a hands-on dreamer, always covered in grease and tinkering with machines. Born in 1906, his dad was a blacksmith, so he grew up surrounded by tools, fixing bikes and playing with engines. Speed was his thing, and he had this wild belief that he could create something awesome. He didn't kick things off with flashy cars or motorcycles, though. Nope, his first gig was making piston rings, those little engine parts you'd barely notice. In 1937, he started a small company called Tokai Seiki to supply Toyota. It wasn't a glamorous life, and things got rough. World War II hit, his factory got bombed, and he had to rebuild from scratch. But here's the cool part. Soichiro didn't quit. After the war, Japan was a mess. Gas was hard to come by, and people just needed a cheap way to zip around. So, in 1946, Soichiro got clever. He slapped old military generator engines onto bicycles, and boom, the first Honda motorcycle was born. It was scrappy, but it worked. 2 years later, in 1948, he officially launched the Honda Motor Company. From that rickety motorized bike, Honda took off like a rocket. Soon, their motorcycles weren't just rolling, they were dominating. Honda bikes started winning races and breaking records, proving to the world that Japan could build machines as tough and fast as anything from the West. Then came the cars. Honda didn't just slap wheels on a box, they built engines that roared with life. Simple to use, speedy, and dependable. Driving a Honda wasn't just about getting somewhere, it was about having a blast along the way. The Honda name became a legend. Today, they churn out more engines than anyone else on the planet. If it's got an engine, bikes, cars, jets, even Formula One racers, chances are Honda's behind it. From a guy with oily hands to a global powerhouse, that's the Honda story. There is a strong brand name for cars called Honda. Every year they sell over 4 million cars. That's enough to make them the 7th biggest car maker in the world. But it's not just about piling up numbers. Honda's got a knack for making cars that are super reliable and packed with clever ideas, all while keeping things smart and smooth. Take the Honda Accord, for example. It's like the rock star of cars. Everyone knows it's one of the best. In just the first half of 2017, Honda sold over 161,000 Accords. That's no fluke. People snap up Hondas because they're the kind of cars you can count on, whether it's your very first ride or the 5th one you've parked in your driveway. But Honda's not just about building cars that don't quit. They're always looking to the future, staying ahead of the game. Back in the 1970s, they came up with the CVCC engine, a total game changer that breezed through the US's strict emissions rules. Then there's the VTEC system, which makes little engines roar like the big ones. Honda's always been about pushing the limits. They were also one of the first to roll out hybrid cars in the US, proving that eco-friendly could still be exciting. And now, they're cooking up something fresh. It's not a hybrid. It's not even fully electric. It's something totally new. Honda believes engines aren't done yet. They just need a little evolution to keep the good times rolling. Honda's got a wild new idea, and it's got a name: hydrogen. Yep, hydrogen. Now, Honda's already a champ at making awesome engines, so why mess with something like hydrogen? Why not just jump on the electric vehicle EV bandwagon that's taking over the world? And how could one bold move from Honda's big boss flip the whole EV game on its head? Because it all comes down to one word: hydrogen. And it might just be the surprise twist nobody expected. Electric cars used to sound like something out of a science fiction movie. No gas, no roaring engine, just plug it in and roll? Crazy, right? But now they're everywhere. Teslas are zooming down highways with giant touchscreens, and you can charge up while grabbing a coffee. The electric future didn't just creep in, it hit like a lightning bolt. Governments jumped in big time. They started tossing out tax breaks, cash bonuses, and all sorts of goodies to get people to ditch their gas guzzlers. Some countries even said, hey, in 10 or 15 years, petrol and diesel cars are done. Banned. EVs got a huge high five from the worldwide push to tackle climate change. Suddenly, going electric wasn't just trendy. It was the new normal everyone was chasing. And EVs? They've leveled up. Batteries last longer, charging's quicker, and once people stopped giggling at the idea of a quiet car, they started lining up to snag one. Now, every car company, Ford, Hyundai, you name it, is rolling out electric rides like they're the latest must-have gadget. Electric vehicles, or EVs, are often celebrated as a shiny, silent step toward a greener future. But there's a flip side that doesn't get enough airtime. Let's break it down. First, batteries don't last forever. They're big, bulky things packed with rare materials like cobalt and lithium, which aren't exactly easy to dig up. Mining them can mess up the planet. Think scarred landscapes and polluted water. And when those batteries finally give out, getting rid of them is a headache we haven't fully figured out. Then there's charging. It's not like filling up a gas tank in 5 minutes. It can take hours, especially if you're stuck somewhere without a fast charger. And even when you're charged up, there's that nagging worry. Will I make it home? That stress doesn't fade, especially on long drives where charging stations are few and far between. Money's another catch. Electric vehicles aren't cheap to buy, even with some help from the government. And while plugging in might feel affordable today, imagine everyone doing it at once. Electricity bills could climb fast. So, yeah, EVs look like a dream fix on the surface. But dig a little deeper, and you'll spot the cracks. It's not just about swapping gas for electric. It's about finding a solution that's truly clean and works for everyone without kicking the can down the road. While everyone else is piling onto the electric vehicle bandwagon, Honda's hitting the brakes on that idea and taking a detour. They're dodging the long charging waits, the battery trash pileup, and the hunt for rare metals from far-off places. So, what's their plan? It's not electric. It's not your usual gas guzzler either. It's a clever middle ground, powered by hydrogen, the lightest stuff in the universe. When you use it, all you get is water. No smog, no mess, just H2O. Honda's betting big that hydrogen could be the real game changer for clean cars. And here's the cool part. they're not new to this. They've been tinkering with hydrogen for a while now, and they're ready to roll. Back in 2015, Honda rolled out a car that felt like it zoomed straight out of a sci-fi movie. It wasn't your typical gas guzzler, and it didn't plug in like an electric car either. Meet the Honda Clarity Fuel Cell, a hydrogen-powered ride that debuted with a splash at the Tokyo Motor Show. It was Japan's first hydrogen car you could actually buy, and it didn't just look futuristic. It drove like it too. Honda didn't just slap a new engine into an old model. They built the Clarity from scratch to run on hydrogen. Inside, it had this cool wave flow tech that zipped hydrogen around faster, squeezing out more power without wasting a drop. The fuel cells were tiny but mighty, packed in just the right spot, delivering more oomph than anything Honda had ever cooked up before. The payoff? A super clean car that could go the distance, up to 360 miles on a full tank. Back then, that beat most electric cars. It sipped fuel at an incredible 88 miles per gallon, and all it left behind was a puff of water vapor. Silent, smooth, and spacious, the Clarity seemed like it had cracked the code for clean driving. But here's where the wheels fell off. Despite all its fancy tricks, the Clarity didn't take off like Honda hoped. The car itself was solid, but the world around it wasn't ready. Hydrogen stations were rare. Unless you lived in California or a handful of spots in Japan, good luck finding a place to fill up. Road trips, stressful. People don't buy cars that leave them stranded, wondering where the next tank is. Then there was the vibe. Hydrogen sounded complicated, maybe even a little scary. Electric cars, though? Simple. Plug in, charge up, hit the road. EVs were the hot topic, with celebrities cruising in them, governments tossing out incentives, and charging stations popping up everywhere. Hydrogen cars, like the Clarity. They didn't get the same love. No big tax breaks, no buzz, no easy test drives. Even though it was an engineering marvel, the Clarity couldn't win the popularity contest. Honda pulled the plug on it, along with its electric and plug-in versions, in 2021. But don't count hydrogen out just yet. The story's not over. Honda didn't just walk away from the Clarity with a shrug. They picked up some serious wisdom. The big takeaway? Hydrogen fuel cell cars work. The tech wasn't the problem. The world just wasn't ready to roll with it. So, Honda played it smart. They stepped back, kept an eye on the EV craze, and let it do its thing. Meanwhile, they quietly kept tinkering with hydrogen. No way were they throwing in the towel. Now, they're back, and they've brought a buddy, General Motors. Together, they've cooked up something fresh to tackle the Clarity's old headaches. Longer range, slicker tech, and a ride people already know and love. Say hello to the CR-V hydrogen SUV. This isn't just a tweak. It's a full-on comeback that could rattle the EV world. What's packed inside this next-gen CR-V isn't just shiny new gear. It's a bold challenge to the electric vehicle hype. Buckle up, because things are about to get interesting. Honda's making a big splash with a bold and clever move, introducing the CR-V Hydrogen SUV. After learning tons from their earlier Clarity model, they're diving back into hydrogen power with a vehicle that's bigger, better, and feels like the Honda SUVs we all know and love. This time, they've teamed up with General Motors to create a car that solves past hiccups and gives electric vehicles a serious run for their money. At first glance, the CR-V Hydrogen SUV looks like your typical family-friendly Honda. But don't be fooled. Underneath, it's a whole new beast. Instead of a gas engine or a plug-in battery, this SUV runs purely on hydrogen. How cool is that? In the back, you'll find two super smart, high-pressure hydrogen tanks, compact, efficient, and safe. Tucked under the seats is a clever power unit that keeps everything running smoothly, balancing speed and safety like a pro. Here's the game changer. This CR-V doesn't need to be plugged into a wall to charge. Its fuel cell system works like magic, turning hydrogen into electricity on the go. Hydrogen and oxygen team up in a clean, controlled process to create instant energy. The only thing it leaves behind? Pure water vapor, clean enough to practically sip. What does this mean for you? Freedom and convenience. Refueling takes just 3 to 5 minutes, as quick as filling up a gas tank. Once the tank's full, the CR-V hydrogen SUV can go as far as some of the best electric cars out there, so you won't be stuck worrying about running out of juice mid-adventure. It's a huge win for everyday drivers who want an easy, no-compromise ride that's kind to the planet. Honda's CR-V hydrogen SUV. More than just a car. Honda's CR-V hydrogen SUV isn't just about getting you from point A to point B. It's packed with surprises that make it a total game changer. One of the coolest tricks? It can share its power. Think of it like having a backup generator on wheels. If a storm knocks out your electricity, the CR-V can keep your home humming and your gadgets charged. It's not just a car. It's a lifeline when things go sideways. But don't worry, Honda didn't sacrifice comfort for all this futuristic tech. The CR-V still has that classic Honda vibe everyone loves. Sleek, spacious, and perfect for families. The hydrogen system is cleverly tucked away, so you get all the eco-friendly power without losing room for your groceries or soccer gear. It feels natural, not forced, like the high-tech stuff was always meant to be there. Honda's playing it smart with the rollout, too. They're starting in places like California and Japan, where hydrogen stations are already up and running. That way, drivers can hit the road without stressing about where to refuel. As more stations pop up, the CR-V will expand to new spots. Honda's not rushing. They're building something that'll grow strong over time. This quiet, clever plan might just shake things up. No loud hype, just solid strategy and the right partners. That's what makes this SUV such a sneaky threat to the electric vehicle world. While others are racing to build faster chargers and bigger batteries, Honda's already delivering instant refueling, long drives, and zero pollution, all wrapped in a familiar, trusty package. And here's a big thought. If the CR-V hydrogen is this awesome now, what happens when Honda brings this tech to their entire lineup? For years, hydrogen cars like Honda's Clarity had one big problem. There just weren't enough places to refuel. The tech was awesome, clean, efficient, and ready to roll. But without fuel stations, drivers were stuck. That hiccup nearly put the brakes on the whole hydrogen dream. But guess what? Things are changing fast. Hydrogen stations are popping up across the U.S., with California leading the charge. Other states are watching closely, ready to follow. Japan's all in on hydrogen, making it a key part of their energy plan. Germany's building stations to power big trucks, and China, the world's biggest car market, is pouring billions into hydrogen to fuel buses, taxis, and more. This isn't just talk, it's happening. Governments aren't just testing hydrogen anymore. They're betting big on it. Why? It's not only super clean for cars, but it's also perfect for trucks, buses, and transit systems that need to haul heavy loads over long distances. Hydrogen refuels in a flash, keeps you going farther, and doesn't leave you waiting for a charger to free up. Here's where it gets juicy. Electric vehicles, EVs, are super popular, but their systems starting to creak. Power grids are struggling to keep up, and sometimes folks are even told not to charge during peak hours. We need more electricity, and we're not building it fast enough. Plus, EV batteries rely on rare metals like lithium and cobalt which are tough to mine, crazy expensive, and not exactly planet-friendly to dig up. With supply shortages, recycling headaches, and rising costs, EVs aren't looking quite as green as they used to. Unlike electric vehicles, it doesn't overload the power grid or need hours to charge. Plus, it skips those rare, hard-to-get metals that batteries rely on. Here's the coolest part. You can make hydrogen from water using sunlight or wind power, something called green hydrogen. Imagine that, running your car on just water and sunshine. No pollution, no grid stress, and no bulky batteries needed. Hydrogen isn't here to steal the spotlight from electric vehicles. It's carving its own path. It's perfect for things like long-haul trucks, city buses, or even powering remote areas where electric chargers just can't cut it. It's not about picking a winner. Hydrogen's doing what EVs can't. The world's catching on, and refueling stations are finally showing up. Honda's right on time with their CR-V hydrogen SUV, hitting the roads just as the infrastructure's ready to roll. The future isn't some far-off dream anymore. It's here, and the roads are open for business. But Honda's not stopping at fuel stations and eco-friendly vibes. They're dreaming way bigger, building engines for tomorrow. Behind the scenes, they're cooking up something incredible. Stuff only Honda could pull off. Honda has always been the engine master. From zippy mopeds to roaring race cars, they've built engines that make hearts race. But with the world waving goodbye to gasoline, what does engine power even mean anymore? For Honda, it's all about hydrogen, and they're taking it to the next level. Instead of chasing batteries like everyone else, Honda asked a big question. How do we keep engines awesome and make them green? Their answer? Hydrogen fuel cells. These aren't your typical electric systems. They're quick, smooth, and feel like driving a classic car, except they're super clean. No noise, no smoke, no gas, just water vapor and instant eco-friendly power. Honda isn't ditching engines. They're making them better than ever. They've teamed up with General Motors, blending Honda's engine genius with GM's electric know-how. Together, they're creating fuel cell systems that are smaller, faster, and way more efficient. It's a match made in car heaven. But wait, there's more. Honda's also part of a big Japanese crew with Toyota, Subaru, Mazda, and even Yamaha. They're working on super clean combustion engines that run on wild stuff like biofuels, hydrogen, and even ammonia. This isn't about replacing electric vehicles. It's about giving us more choices. These engines can power places where EVs or chargers just don't work, like remote areas or spots with shaky power grids. Honda's not just following the crowd. They're rewriting the rules of what a car can be. It's still all about performance, reliability, and that Honda vibe we love. But now, it's for a cleaner, brighter future. While other companies build brand new cars, Honda's reinventing the heart of the vehicle, the engine. And they're already sharing this bold vision with some of the world's top players. This is Honda's next chapter, and it's going to be a thrilling ride. Can Honda's hydrogen CR-V outshine EVs? So, here's the buzz. Is Honda's new hydrogen-powered CR-V about to steal the spotlight from electric vehicles, EVs? First up, charging time. EVs can take anywhere from 30 minutes to hours to juice up, depending on the charger. The CR-V? It's ready to roll in just 3 to 5 minutes, about as fast as filling a gas tank. That's not just convenient. It's a total game-changer. Then there's range. Most EVs give you 200 to 300 miles per charge. The hydrogen CR-V goes further, hitting close to 400 miles on a full tank. For road trips or busy days, those extra miles mean fewer stops and less stress. Now, let's talk about being green. Electric vehicles produce zero emissions while driving, which is awesome. But the CR-V goes even cleaner. Its fuel cell pumps out nothing but water vapor. No big batteries needed, and no worries about the environmental toll of making or tossing them. Honda's not trying to destroy EVs, but the CR-V's speed, range, and eco-edge make it a serious contender. Right now, electric vehicles, EVs, have more charging stations, and most folks can plug in at home. But hydrogen stations are catching up fast in places like California, Japan, Germany, and China. When you refuel a hydrogen CR-V, it's super quick, done in minutes, and doesn't overload the power grid like some EV chargers can. Here's a big difference. EVs need batteries made from rare materials like lithium and cobalt, which are pricey and tough on the environment to mine. Hydrogen fuel cells? They skip all that. No big batteries to wear out, no mining mess, and no fire risks. Just clean energy that's simple and safe. Electric vehicles are popular, but they're hitting bumps. Long charging waits, limited range, rising electricity costs, and battery worries are frustrating drivers. That's why hybrids, plug-ins, and now hydrogen cars like the CR-V are turning heads. Honda didn't stick this tech in some weird prototype. They put it in the CR-V, a family favorite that millions already trust. It feels familiar, but now it's cleaner, faster, and even cooler. Will hydrogen replace EVs? Nah, it doesn't need to. Even grabbing a slice of the market can change how we think about clean driving and push car makers to step up their game. Honda's jumping into hydrogen power, and it's a game changer. This isn't just about cool cars, it's part of a massive shift happening worldwide. Countries and companies are racing to find the cleanest, smartest ways to power our future. Electric cars, they're just one piece of the puzzle. The clean energy world is buzzing with competition and big ideas. Loved this insight? Give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and hit that subscribe button for more deep dives like this. Oh, and don't miss the next video. Click it now. Trust me, it's worth it.